people see him as a champion, but he is not one. He has it. It's he has this name, and he's not a champion, and that is special. That is something special. Yeah, absolutely. I 100%. I'm going into this fight, and I'm looking for a finish from the first second to the last. And yeah, in a fight like this, the finishes are much more all around us than a fight like Strickland.
Dricus Du Plessis has just shared his thoughts on his upcoming fight with Khamzat Chimaev and issued a brutal KO warning to him. On the other hand, Khamzat Chimaev stated that he's putting everything on the line for his showdown with Dricus Du Plessis, just as he's done in every past fight. He mentioned the match might be over early, but if it stretches the full 5 rounds, he'll be ready without question. Chimaev emphasized that he's fully conditioned and willing to go the distance if that's what it takes.
I'm gonna go all in, like always does, so we will see. If it's gonna go fast, it's gonna be fast, but if it goes for 5 rounds, I will be ready. I'm fighting there 5 rounds.
Chimaev cautioned that if Du Plessis tries to engage in a grappling exchange right out of the gate, he'll spot it immediately. He said they'll settle things the right way inside the cage, no matter how strange Du Plessis' approach might look. Chimaev acknowledged Du Plessis' skills and respected how he reached the title through real effort rather than just grit. Still, Chimaev was firm in saying he doesn't see Du Plessis as being significantly superior to him in any area.
It looks a little bit weird, but he's a good fighter. But he's there champ, not like just because he's, because he's Dricus, but he's work hard. He comes there and become a champ, but he's not better fighter than me.
However, Dricus Du Plessis immediately dismissed the idea of Khamzat being called overrated. He said Chimaev deserves all the praise he's gotten and backed it up by calling him a special kind of fighter. Du Plessis brought up the Robert Whittaker fight, saying that performance proved Chimaev is still every bit as dangerous as he was when he burst onto the scene. He acknowledged that some people questioned Chimaev after his tougher fights with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, especially following rumors about his health, but for Du Plessis, there was never any doubt about Chimaev's talent or potential.
Is he overrated in your opinion?
No. I think he's
worthy of all the praise. He's worthy of all the praise and everything that he receives.
Absolutely. I think Khamzat is a special fighter.
As far as the Whittaker fight, the last time we saw him, to me, that was the reminder that he is still a special fighter. There was maybe a narrative or some people who thought like, okay, maybe we've seen the best of him. Maybe the sickness got to him. Maybe he's not as good as he first appeared. Whatever, the Gilbert Burns fight, he goes the distance. The Usman fight was a bit surprising. Was that the one where you also said, okay, no, this guy is back or legit, or you always believe, you never doubted?
Du Plessis admitted that there was a frustrating stretch when Chimaev wasn't competing, nearly 2 years without a fight, yet kept calling out everyone across multiple weight classes. He said it got annoying at times, watching Chimaev challenge welterweights, middleweights, even light heavyweights, without stepping into the cage. Still, he made it clear that despite all the talk, he never once believed Chimaev was overrated. In Du Plessis' view, Chimaev is exactly as good as people say. He just believes that he himself is even better.
Yeah, from the first time I saw him fight, I knew this guy was going to be special. 100%. I knew he was going to be special. There was a stage where he didn't fight for like 2 years or something. And listen, he speaks a lot more than he fights. I can tell you that much too. But there was a long period of time he was calling out every single person. That just started getting annoying. It was annoying out of me. He was calling out welterweights, middleweights, light heavyweights, but he wasn't fighting anyone. But there was never ever a stage where I went, this guy's overrated. No, he is as good as people think. I think he's as good as people think. I just think I'm a lot better than people think.
Moreover, Dricus Du Plessis further explained that staying undefeated at the top level of MMA is incredibly rare, and that alone makes Khamzat Chimaev special. He pointed out that Chimaev carries the aura and attention of a champion despite not actually holding a title, which is unique in itself. Unlike typical contenders who gradually build hype, Chimaev already has a massive buzz around him and consistently lives up to it. Du Plessis praised Chimaev's ability to dominate elite opponents, saying that at this level, beating top-tier fighters the way Chimaev has is something truly exceptional.
Yeah, he's unbeaten. He's unbeaten at the top of the sport. That makes anybody special, To stay unbeaten in this game is really, really hard. And another thing that makes him special is the fact that he has this hype, and people see him as a champion, but he is not one. You know, he has it. It's, you know, he has this name and he's not a champion. And that is special. That is something special. And he doesn't have that contender type of hype behind him. He has massive hype behind him. So that is special, and to live up and go. But I mean, that is a special guy. Khamzat Chimaev he's a brilliant fighter. If you look at his fights, the manner he's been able to beat guys, that is something special. To be able at this level to do that, it is special.
Furthermore, Dricus Du Plessis stated that he's going into the fight fully committed to hunting for a finish from the very first second to the final bell. He emphasized that in a matchup of this magnitude, the chances for a finish are far more present compared to a bout like the one he had with Sean Strickland.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100%. I'm going into this fight, and I'm looking for a finish from the first second to the last. And yeah, in a fight like this, the finishes are much more all around us than a fight like Strickland.
However, Chael Sonnen pushed back against the idea that Dricus Du Plessis has nothing left to prove. He argued that in a highly competitive middleweight division, a decisive victory over Khamzat Chimaev would elevate Du Plessis into serious pound-for-pound discussions. Sonnen said a win could place DDP among elite names like Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria, making a top 3 ranking a real possibility in the near future.
Some people feel that Dricus has nothing to prove in this fight. I strongly disagree. I think that the pound-for-pound rankings, I think that Dricus is going to get Imanov, Kyle Brawl, when Izzy Adesanya is one of the guys just floating around, when Whitaker is one of the guys just floating around, it starts to show you how hard a division is, right? Sean Strickland hasn't gone anywhere, and I'm just saying, in a division that tough, I used to be the king of middleweight. I knew middleweights inside and out. Partner, they did not have 10 Anderson Silvas at middleweight, but they do now. And if Dricus can go out and look good and get the win over Chimaev, I just think that ranking, he all of a sudden is going to be flirting with Islam's space and Ilya's space. He's going to be flirting with the top 3. And I think that's the only way that we know how to compliment him in our industry. We give him a belt, we give him a main event, and then we give him a little bit more. And that top 3 placing pound for pound is very within reach right now for Dricus.
Meanwhile, Anthony Hernandez predicted that Du Plessis is going to surprise a lot of people. He described Dricus as a large, unorthodox fighter who constantly moves forward and doesn't slow down. Hernandez pointed out that Chimaev has shown vulnerability when facing smaller, quicker opponents and believes he still hasn't answered every question. He also noted that once Khamzat is taken to the mat, things tend to get more difficult for him.
I think DDP is going to surprise the world, man. He's awkward. He comes forward. He doesn't get tired. Khamzat gets tired with small guys that were 155ers, you know what I mean, that went up to 170. So I'm still not really sold on him. I know he's good. I know he beat up Robert Whitaker. But like I said, the old is very one-dimensional. They only have one tool. If you can get them to the floor, it usually seems that they have a bad night. And that's just the honest truth of how I've seen it play out.
Gilbert Burns predicted that Dricus Du Plessis would start the fight with relentless pressure, comparing his approach to a charging truck, and even suggested he might take Sean Strickland down. Burns didn't see Du Plessis getting stopped, expressing confidence that he would push through whatever came his way. Renato Moicano, meanwhile, leaned toward a late finish in the 3rd or 4th round, but acknowledged that a decision victory for Du Plessis was also on the table.
Do you think he's going to pull it off?
When I look at the fight, that guy gets so freaking tired. He's that one-speed fighter. He's going to come like truck at you. I do believe he might take Dricus down. I don't think he's going to get finished. I do believe Dricus is going to fight through all that. Maybe a decision, but I do believe a late finish, 3rd to 4th round. That's my prediction.
Drucker Close shared his belief that if the fight extends beyond 2 rounds, Dricus Du Plessis would come out on top. He explained that Du Plessis' awkward and unorthodox approach tends to throw off even the most seasoned fighters. According to Close, DDP has a way of dragging opponents into his kind of fight. Messy, chaotic, and hard to control. When Tim Welch asked who he'd put his $10,000 on, Close didn't hesitate, confidently choosing Du Plessis to get the win.
God damn it. Who do you got in that, Dre?
I think if it goes over 2 rounds, I got DDP, but
If someone's giving you 10K, what are you doing with it?
I'm gonna go DDP.
I think DDP too, dude.
He's awkward. Just when you're not like, when people are used to, I think like even like pros and when we spar amateurs, amateurs do completely different. And you get hit with like, hey, you're not supposed to go that way. And I kind of see that's how DDP is. It's like he's still kind of green, but
he brings people to his level.
To his level, yeah. Like, oh, this is awkward, and then like you're already a step behind.
Belal Muhammad threw his full support behind Khamzat Chimaev while taking a jab at Dricus Du Plessis. Ahead of the major event in Chicago, Belal sarcastically warned Dricus not to reach out to him for anything, whether it be training advice or even a meal. He made it clear that Dricus wasn't welcome in his city and wrapped up his comments with a firm, "Go Khamzat," leaving no doubt about where he stands.
Also, heard Dricus in Chicago. Bro, this is my city. Big card next week. Huge main event. You need anything from Chicago, food, groceries, therapist, cage, gym, sauna. Make sure you don't hit me up. You're not welcome here. Chicago, you see him, you let him know. We don't like his kind. Go Khamzat.
Rampage Jackson shared his thoughts on the upcoming clash, describing Khamzat Chimaev as a beast every time he's seen him in action. That dominance is why he's picking Chimaev to win. Jackson predicted the fight would likely end in the third round, believing that's when Chimaev will take control and seal the victory.
Khamzat, he's always been a beast every time I've seen him fight, so I'm going to go with Khamzat. I think he's going to take it.
Which round?
I'm thinking around like the third round. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Michael Bisping, on the other hand, acknowledged Khamzat Chimaev's physical tools and dominance, but gave Du Plessis a real shot if he can weather the early storm. Bisping pointed out that the deeper the fight goes, the more it leans in Du Plessis' favor. He also questioned the current betting odds, expressing surprise that Khamzat is a 2-1 favorite in what he sees as a much tighter matchup.
So Khamzat Chimaev, I just think he's built a certain way, but if Dricus Du Plessis can drag him out to the later rounds, I still think it favors Dricus, and the fact that Khamzat is a 2-1 favorite is crazy. Anyway,
Arman Sarukian talked about how much it means to him to be part of Khamzat Chimaev's team. He said he's proud to support Chimaev in any way he can and appreciates the chance to learn by training next to someone so talented. Sarukian praised Chimaev's strong striking and wrestling, mentioning that when he watches Chimaev spar, the rounds usually don't last long, often ending with a quick first-round finish.
It's very good to be on his team, and to help him as much as possible, and to learn something new from him, because he's such a high-level fighter, and his striking is good, wrestling is good. I watch his sparrings, and it's a finish in the first round.
Brennan Schwab acknowledged that Khamzat Chimaev had cardio concerns in the past, but after watching him train, he's confident those issues have been addressed. Still, Schwab warned that if Chimaev can't get an early finish and begins to fade, Dricus Du Plessis has the tools to capitalize and potentially stop him in the later rounds. He also expressed interest in seeing how Du Plessis handles the grappling exchanges, though he's already seen Chimaev out-wrestle some of the sport's top-tier grapplers.
Obviously, cardio was an issue for him back in the day. I'm here to tell you now, I've personally, with these peepers, have seen the man train. Cardio is not an issue. But that's all predicated on, let's say Khamzat goes in there and tries to get DDP down in the first 2 rounds and can't get it done, and he gets tired. DDP in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th will finish him, So I'm interested to see what Khamzat's game plan is. I'm also interested to see how good DDP's grappling is. I've heard training room stories where he's just this freak, but I've personally seen Khamzat beat world-class wrestlers and jiu-jitsu guys. Toy with them.
Darren Till expressed strong confidence in Khamzat Chimaev's chances against Du Plessis, firmly predicting the fight would end before the 3rd round. Although he gave credit to Du Plessis for being tough and having an unusual fighting style, Till focused on Chimaev's strength and sharp mentality. He also mentioned a recent video call with Chimaev where they talked about Till possibly flying to Dubai to train with him. The conversation ended with some lighthearted jokes between Till and Ariel Helwani about their appearance and workout habits.
You think he beats Khamzat, your boy?
No, look, with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, and he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds. I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows. I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds done. You know what I'm saying?
Tito Ortiz praised Khamzat Chimaev's pressure in wrestling, predicting that Du Plessis is in for a rough night. He expected Chimaev to dominate with takedowns and finish the fight within 3 or 4 rounds. Ortiz admired Chimaev's aggressive approach and his ability to shoot from distance.
How do you predict that fight plays out?
People are going to see how vicious Chimaev truly is. I respect the guy. He's a monster. Du Plessis, the champ, I think he's in him for a rude awakening because he's going to realize that his wrestling is not as good as Chimaev's truly is. And it was heartbreaking for me in that middleweight division because when Bo Nichols got picked apart his last fight, I was like, man.
He also criticized Bo Nickal for not relying on his wrestling, saying Chimaev has a more complete style by blending strikes and grappling. Ortiz added that Rampage Jackson trained with Chimaev and called him the real deal, noting that Chimaev looked sharp after working out at Jackson's gym in California.
Why didn't you wrestle? You're one of the best guys in the world in wrestling. Use your wrestling. And that's what all the Russians do. They use their wrestling to set up punches. They use their punches to set up the wrestling. And then they take people down and they choke them because they're really good at it. I think Chimaev, I would give it maybe 4 rounds, 3 to 4 rounds. I think Chimaev just overwhelms him too much. I think that's my opinion. Once again, I watch him. I watch Chimaev. I just see how tough he is, and I know he had training camp actually at Jackson Clothing Company or Jackson in California, correct? And was it
with Bear and Rampage is also there.
Yep. And so I know he's doing really well. I talked to Rampage. Rampage goes, no, he's the real deal, Tito. I go, I see him. I watch his fights and how vicious. I mean, he can shoot a double leg from half the cage and still take a guy down. He's just very vicious.
TJ Dillashaw said Khamzat Chimaev has the edge over Dricus Du Plessis in striking, grappling, and jiu-jitsu, but acknowledged cardio is a past issue. He revealed that he connected Chimaev with Sam Calavita from Training Lab, who helped him in the past, and believes Sam will improve Chimaev's conditioning and weight management, giving him a clear advantage.
Asking about DDP and Chimaev. I was like, look, Chimaev's the better striker in my opinion, technically. He's by far the better grappler and has more strength and better jiu-jitsu. Like, DDP is nonstop pressure. He's awkward, and that awkwardness gets it done. I'd say the reason why Chimaev won't win is because of his cardio. I said that before, right? And then I met him, and I introduced him. So this guy's Sam Calavita that I'm talking about. He owns Training Lab. He's the one that gave me my bro science PhD and everything I'm talking about now, and I did it in his garage. So I learned everything you could possibly learn about peak performance and how to get your body there. Well, I introduced Armin to Sam Calavita, which has been working with him, and you've seen the way he's been looking lately, but now I've also introduced Chimaev to him. So
Dillashaw added that Calavita runs strength and conditioning from his garage in an intense, Rocky-like setting with top-level fighters. He noted that Chimaev is now in the same program and expects his cardio to be much better. He also credited Calavita's water displacement methods for aiding weight cuts, which would boost Chimaev's overall performance.
Sam Calavita's got like some killers in his garage. He does all of his strength conditioning in his garage, which is amazing. It's like Rocky style training. So Chimaev's doing it right now. I highly suspect he's gonna have a better gas tank for this next fight, and I think he's gonna get the win because of it. Not only does Sam train you the right way to be this freak of cardio, but he also is gonna help him make weight very easy. Sam's algorithms on the water displacement that he's got is next level. He'd always have me show up to fight week. I fight 135s. He'd have me show up to fight week. So that's what, 5 days before, or 7 days before on Sunday. As long as I weigh 150 and I'm hydrated, I know I've made weight. Now it's just about water displacement and doing it the right way. And he's going to do the same thing for Chimaev. So he's going to make the weight better, which in turn is going to make his cardio better, and he's going to train the right way. With all the stuff that I know now, everything that I know is because of Sam Calavita, and that's what Chimaev's doing right now.
So that's it for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their upcoming fight? Would love to hear your thoughts on their upcoming clash, so share your thoughts in the comments section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.